Hello and welcome to India Today SoSouth. This is today is the part 2 of Cracks in the Dravidian Wall, which we began yesterday with TR Jawahar, who is a senior editor and journalist based out of Chennai and has been following Tamil Nadu politics for a long time. Yesterday, we generally told you about the book that Jawahar wrote, the articles that he wrote in 2019 about what BJP should do and what it should not do to try and make an impact or make a little space for itself in Tamil Nadu politics, which has been kind of a death knell for all national parties right since the 60s or right, late 60s. So that's where we ended. Yesterday, we told you two things. One is that we will today discuss why Jawahar describes Tamil Nadu as a tinderbox. We'll get there. That's one promise. That's what we'll discuss. That will be the burden of our discussion today. But before that, we also discussed yesterday very briefly and actually in passing about Narendra Modi being in Chennai. So off camera, we were talking yesterday, and I was asking Jawahar what would be Modi's impact in Chennai. So he said, I don't know if it will have more impact than disturbing the traffic. So today then, Jawahar, I will first play that little clip of Modi in Chennai, right? I think he went through Pondi Bazaar and all that.
Yeah, Pondi Bazaar.
Right. I'll first play that, and then you tell me if you have you view it any differently since yesterday, right? I'm just playing this clip. So, Jawahar, if nothing else, I cut the clip because it's a 25-seconder. It will be too long a clip.
Yeah, right.
If nothing else, I thought that there were kind of different scenes on Chennai streets, right? You're not used to this kind of a what you call road show. So now tell me what you thought of it.
My first thought was that it was a very impressive show. Yesterday, I was in a hurry because I didn't want to get caught in the traffic, and then I was, I went through all the footages and also watched everything on the TV. Now, let me tell you this. See, the Dravidian parties are past masters in, motivating, mobilizing, and sort of managing crowds. So yesterday's crowds at Pondi Bazaar, it is hardly about 2-3 kilometers distance from Panagal Park to Eldams Road. People who know Chennai would be able to place the location. So the crowds were around 20 to 25,000 at best. This is and I realized that the crowd was very spontaneous. Okay, it was not the crowd that usually that come in lorries and then this was not artificial crowd. This was not the artificial crowd.
Correct.
Unlike the Dravidian kind of crowds that we are used to, bringing in people in. Annamalai has kept his word. He said that I won't be paying this usual 300 rupees beta and all those biryanis and these kind of things, and he has kept his word. Right. The crowd was very spontaneous. This is one thing. The so-called non-voting middle classes, the apathetic middle classes that we have always, held them. These people had come in large numbers. They had come down from the flats, they had come down from their apartments and from the nearby residences. And so the crowd was definitely,
boisterous,
animated crowd. And thirdly, what I felt was that in Tamil Nadu there is basically curiosity for curious onlookers are always there for all leaders. So people love to see the leaders in flesh and blood. So Modi definitely had this opportunity to present himself to the people of Chennai. And this had good traction on the television channels also. But what I'm most interested and impressed was today's meetings in Vellore and the ongoing meeting in Vettapalayam. Right? We can talk
about that. Yeah. What about that?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Today morning, the Vellore meeting was an excellent show, I would say. Once again, there were big crowds this time because he had 6 candidates on the stage with him. His alliance partners are now also BJP candidates. Patali Makkal
Right.
Katchi's Soumya Anbumani was there, and then AC Shanmugam, who was contesting from Vellore, he was there. And Modi
Right.
presented the candidates to the crowd. But he made a long speech, primarily targeted at the DMK. And of course, there was the usual stuff about family rule and corruption and all that. But he talked a lot about Tamil culture and what he has done for that and what he would like to do for that. And I felt there was in his speech and his basic body language, I could see a change. That he was quite eager to make up for the lost time, and he was quite earnest in wanting to do something really for the culture that's
Right.
that he so exalts. So there is
Right.
nothing fake about it, at least. He really wants to do something, and let us take it at face value. There is no question, no reason to doubt his intentions on this count. But the other thing is that the campaign by the DMK and the ADMK also, ADMK, you leave them out of the picture, but the campaign by the DMK is that they have not received adequate funds from the center for the various disasters and for various schemes also.
Yeah. Floods
Modi was able to give abundant clarification. And coming from the horse's mouth, I think the people would definitely, he has made a mark. He has made a mark, and he has definitely put the Dravidian parties on the defensive. And it is obvious from their own reactions also. Once again, they have gone back to the usual rhetoric that Modi is a seasonal visitor and all that. So this campaign has been addressed by Modi in the last 2 days. And today in Medupalayam, in Vellore, he invoked the blessings of Lord Jalagandeshwara, Lord Shiva, and also he invoked the blessings of Lord Muruga, who's supposed to be the Tamil deity, Tamil language deity. Yeah. So obviously he has done his homework quite well. That's a good thing. And whether this will swing the whole thing in his favor overnight, I mean, these are things you and I can't guess, These voters' mind, it's like a tsunami. We won't know it unless
it's stupid to
hit the shores.
Yeah, it's stupid to second guess the voter. We'll not get there.
Do that. We can never do that.
But one sentence, one sentence he used is that.
That is the reason why I never get into the business of. That is the reason why I never get into the business of psephology and numbers and percentages and all that. So this is the one thing. So after Vellore, he brought about Vellore's history in the 1857 war of. So he had, and in Medupalayam, apart from the same subjects, he has also. I think the speech is still going on. Raja up there in Nilgiri is a target because of the 2G.
Yes.
I normally object to people calling Gs because Tamil people. Anne is a better, more comfortable usage, but this 2G is one thing that I always harp upon. So he's taking on Raja and putting him in place.
Correct.
So that is well deserved. So for the first time, today, and then he's coming back on 13th and 14th. So let us see if this trend continues, that putting the DMK on the defensive, because that is the main opposition party here, and that is the main ideological opposition to the BJP also. DMK is the antithesis of everything.
So you just said.
DMK is the antithesis. Let me complete. DMK represents the antithesis of everything that the BJP stands for. And it is good that the BJP is targeting the DMK. It is a good fight. It's a good fight.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's forget the results, but it's a good fight. He is not touching the ADMK much. It's a tactical thing, because for him the enemy is the DMK.
Okay, let me come in now.
Yeah.
Well, talking initially, you said that Modi is at least trying to make up for lost time for having started late, right? That gives me the entry point for what we promised that we will discuss. This is about your description of Tamil Nadu as a tinderbox, right? This is about 3 years ago, you said. And because Tamil Nadu is such a tinderbox, your entreaties to BJP was that please come, Tamil Nadu needs a national party. Right?
Exactly.
That is the burden of all your writings so far. Right?
Yeah.
So, what is it that you call? Why is it that you call Tamil Nadu a tinderbox? So let's talk a bit about that, and then talk about why you think it happened. and maybe then it's a bit of a getting into the history of of Tamil Nadu politics, and why it seems like it is such a rigid Dravidian, what you call solidified Dravidian
Yeah.
space that nobody
Yeah.
can actually penetrate, right? So tinderbox. Why did you call it a tinderbox?
Well, it has been a tinderbox for the last 100 years, or more than that.
Right.
Ever since the Justice Party came into the picture.
Right.
I don't want to go in detail. We can talk about it some other time. See, the Justice Party was formed
Oh,
sometime in 1916. And the
right.
core ideology and the only ideology of the party was anti-Brahminism at that time. Then when the Montagu
Right.
reforms were introduced and a system of diarchy was brought, elections, before that, only the governor was the head of the provinces, of the Madras province also.
Right.
So when the system of diarchy was brought in and the elections were held, Justice Party won handsomely in 1920. And they ruled intermittently between 1920 and 1937. Till that time, their main ideology was only anti-Brahminism, and that counts. But it was basically an upper caste party. No one can take it out of that. And Periyar was not in the picture in a big way. On the contrary, Periyar
Right.
started what is called Madras Province Association. And it was many Justice Party members resented that, and many thought that it was a Trojan horse to destroy the Justice Party ideals, because Periyar was very
Right.
much capable of this kind of things. The man's proclivities are such that he is a very undependable character. To say it, put it very very mildly, I can use stronger words, but I
Right.
don't want to do that.
Mhm.
So when the Justice Party lost power in 1937, Rajaji became the Congress chief minister, and he committed the major error of Justice Party was on the way out. Actually, that was the first Dravidian party to rule the Madras presidency, not the DMK which came later. So just to put the record straight. So in 1937, when Rajaji came to power as the Congress chief minister, he made Hindi compulsory in all the public schools in Tamil Nadu, because he was basically a Gandhian, and Gandhi was very particular that to unify the freedom movement, Hindi or Hindustani or whatever you call it,
You needed one
Karigodi.
language.
Yeah. So he was pushing for a national language with very honorable intentions. But the way the language
Right.
policy was implemented was not very good, but that we'll come to that later. So immediately, Periyar was literally without an issue because Justice Party had collapsed. But Rajaji gave him the handle, and immediately protests started all over Tamil Nadu at the behest of Periyar. So Periyar was in a way the pioneer of protest politics in Tamil Nadu. So the Hindi agitations that followed between 1937 and subsequent years, 2 people died, thousands of people were arrested, and those 2 people were subsequently martyred as those names were Talamuthu and Natarajan. They both have a building to their name in back in the center of Chennai. These people were martyred. Once again, when Nehru took over, we have all this 3-language formula, and at 1967, 1965, January 26th, this 3-language formula was supposed to kick in. By the time Annadure had taken over, broke away from the DK. Justice Party had become DK by that time under Periyar.
DK.
So it's a big history, you have to go back and forth. So Annadure started off in 1963 itself, and he was a powerful orator and a powerful rabble rouser. So he immediately sensed that Hindi was lurking somewhere in between the, 3-language formula. So immediately started. See, the problem with this, or the smartness, you can even say that, with these DNK people is that they are all very slick. They have the gift of the gab and very forked tongue maybe, but they use the tongue very effectively, and they rouse the students particularly. So they were able to capture the young mind students and plant the poisonous seeds of anti-Hindi in their mind, students, which is still there, I would say, to some extent, to a large extent, I would say, in the rural areas. Okay. That is also I have addressed in this book in extensive detail. So,
okay, let me come in. Yeah, let me come in. Here, since we will talk about Periyar in detail tomorrow, the entire how basically he laid the foundation for the future politics of Tamil Nadu, which extends till today. We'll talk about it in detail tomorrow. So, how was that the beginning of that history, how is it still relevant, and why did it lead to what you said was a tinderbox? What are
Right.
the characters? What are the events, incidents? So tell us about that.
Yeah. See, I'll come one by one. And I'll quote at least 4 to 5 instances of tinderbox. I think that should do for the limited time that we have.
Right.
Hindi is a tinderbox, okay? Not as it used to be in 1965. In the 1965, 63 to 65 agitation, 70 people were killed in Madurai, and there was a huge flare-up, and the paramilitary forces had to be called in, for the sake of language. So this was the kind of this is the tinderbox I mentioned. The people can be easily inflammable issues are there. This is one thing. Again, when Karunanidhi was conferred the doctorate by Annamalai University, there was student agitation against that. And one student, Uday Kumar, was floating in the swimming pool dead. So this is one more. These kind of things were there. The student community in Tamil Nadu has always been highly politicized. The Dravidian parties used 2 communities. One is cinema, the other is the student, for their rise in popular imagination. So this is one example. During Annadurai's funeral, so many people traveling on top of the trains, many people, hundreds of people, they were killed, they died. And then again, when MGR...
No, that's it. Sorry, one second. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say
the leaders are the tinderbox. The leaders are the tinderbox. The leaders themselves are the tinderbox.
It's a very peculiar trend. It's a peculiar trend that in Tamil Nadu, when a leader passes, there are riots. There are suicides, of course, you have heard, in Andhra and elsewhere too. But in Tamil Nadu, a leader passing, like they had to be so careful about announcing Jayalalitha's death, right? So to the extent that we don't know when exactly she passed away, right? So it was delayed overnight, late at night. Yeah. So why is that? Where does that come from?
Let us come to Jayalalitha later. That was not to prevent any riots. It was only a palace kind of intrigue that was going on at that time. So that's a completely different thing at that time.
Okay. So back to leaders and deaths.
If you go back when MGR passed away, I saw people breaking, lights, and Karunanidhi's statue was vandalized. Of course, in Tamil Nadu, we have this culture of living people having statues. Living people having statues. So his statue was vandalized, brought down. And then I remember when in Jayalalitha's time, when she went to Mahamagam temple, there was a big stampede. And LTT, see, this LTT has been a big, Sri Lankan issue has been a big source of violence in Tamil Nadu. So this has been a consistent thing. Though the Sri Lankan people did not benefit from the Tamil Nadu politicians' gimmicks. I used to call it the Sri Lankan soccer. They used to push the ball from one goal post to the other. They never really bothered about the spectator. The Sri Lankan people were just spectators for whatever is happening. And they are still at the mercy of the Sri Lankan government. Nothing transferred really at the Sri Lankan soil for them. But they were used fully to kick up violence here. And even now, let me say that, let me come to the present. We have the Seaman, who very proudly, has Prabhakaran as his mascot. Yeah, that's the thing. He has, he very proudly, proclaims Prabhakaran as his leader and as his mascot. And he wears a T-shirt with Prabhakaran's thing. Now, may I ask you, if LTT is a banned organization in Tamil Nadu, how is he able to get away with these things? This is one of the... So, I'm not saying that the people themselves are a tinderbox. See, these political parties, when push comes to shove, they can rouse people, a small group of people, and ensure that the state comes to a standstill, in part or in full. In full, as it happened during the Hindi agitation, when Jayalalitha was jailed in 2014, for almost close to a month, she got bail, Not a business function in Tamil Nadu. They were all closed, and it was Diwali time. Remember, it was Diwali time. From September 24th to October 22nd, when she was released, nothing functioned in Tamil Nadu. The state came to a standstill. So whenever a leader gets a sneeze or a cold, the whole state gets pneumonia. This is the kind of thing it happens. It is not about issues, but the issue of issues of the leader. When Alagiri and Maran fought in 2008, innocent people died. And sometimes, I used to say that if Alagiri was I had to come out, the army had to be called in. Such was the kind of rowdyism that has been let loose by these people in Tamil Nadu. So it is not about the people. It is about a small group of people who can create and inflame the passions of a vested interest who are ready to spill the blood. But
So,
let me add
yeah.
one more thing. Let me add one more
Hmm.
thing. Not a single leader has died for any of these causes that they have. Their kith, kin, and skin have always been safe. It is only the cadre who have been always sacrificed
Right.
willy-nilly. They have always been sacrificed. That is the
Hmm.
Dravidian culture or the lack of it. The violent
Yeah.
culture or the
So,
lack of it. So this is
so
what I
one
meant by
one
tinderbox.
okay. One phrase that is current in this social digital media times is
Yeah.
a toolkit, right? Or a
Toolkit.
template, or a toolkit, or a
Template. Yeah,
template. So
I know.
are you suggesting that this inflaming passions of through cinema and college students is the toolkit or a template for the Dravidian parties which has lasted over the decades?
See, toolkit is a very modern usage.
Hmm.
But we are, as I told you
Yes.
yesterday, and I'll be consistently telling throughout this conversations, our
Hmm.
status leaders, our Dravidian leaders, are past masters in all these kind of techniques. None of the national
Hmm.
leaders can hold a candle, or none of the newfangled
Right.
media can hold a candle to our people. The
Right.
cinema has been the biggest toolkit. MJR's
Hmm.
songs and MJR's movies have been toolkits, and Karunanidhi's rhetoric, Annadurei's rhetoric, and periyar's
Yeah.
have been toolkits. So you call it toolkit today, but we call it Dravidian ideology or whatever you call it.
Okay. Now I'll try to get more out of you on this tinderbox thing,
Yeah,
because you have been almost pleading with the center or the national parties, in specifically BJP, because you gave up on the Congress long time ago,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah. People
Congress
have
has
given up
been
on the Congress.
yeah, it's been there, and then the Congress has given up Congress, especially in
We
Tamil
will take
Nadu.
it
It
whichever way.
dates back,
Yeah,
yeah, it dates back to 60 years now, more than 60 years, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you have been saying that Tamil Nadu is a tinderbox. It is time that the nation took note of it, and
Yeah,
a political party like BJP, which says it is nationalist and it wants everything under one nationalistic umbrella, it's time for
exactly.
such a party to move and integrate with Tamil Nadu and integrate Tamil Nadu with the rest of the country. Not that it's not in a geographic way. I'm saying in an emotional way. Integrate Tamil Nadu with the rest of the country. That has been the burden of your argument for a long time, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
give me a little more insight into what is so dangerous at the time that you said that it is a tinderbox. Please come, and we need a national party here, and we need alternative politics. Why did you think that? Can you give me specific instances?
Yeah. See, whenever we talk of separatism and secession, immediately our mind goes
Hmm.
to J&K in the north. But nobody thinks of the land of
Yes.
J&K, Jayalalitha
Yeah.
and Karunanidhi in Tamil Nadu. J&K here, down under.
Yeah.
The J&K
Yes.
problem has been
Yes.
addressed substantially in the last 5 years because of the abrogation of
Right.
Article 370 as promised by the
Mhm.
BJP.
Mhm.
And I appreciate
Mhm.
that because they have done a good thing on that.
Right.
Though in method,
Right.
people may have different
Mm.
ideas.
Mm.
But
Mm.
broadly, I go with that. It has to be done, it has been done
Mm.
as promised.
Right.
But the
Okay.
land of J&K down under, once again, I'll have to go back to the Justice Party period of the secession and
Mhm.
separatism. Is
Right.
basically because of the Aryan invasion theory that the British planted in their minds, in
Mm.
the minds of the uh, Tamilian parties and Tamilian
Indians as a whole.
politicians.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, I have all see. I would like to clarify on this count that I have used the word Aryan only as a metaphor for North Indians
You.
because that is a word used
Ah.
in contrast to Dravidian. You understand?
Yes.
So,
Right.
but I have never bought into the Aryan invasion theory, and on the contrary,
You got quite a lot
I
of flack yesterday.
yeah, I know that, and I used to get it when I got it even when I wrote this book, and I had to
Mhm.
go many miles to clarify that and quote many articles of mine for that.
Right.
That is wholly a British
So you're
construction.
not a proponent of the Aryan theory. That's what you're saying. In fact,
That's a big word you are saying. Proponent, I never. On the contrary, I have written many articles debunking that theory. And
Yes.
if anything,
Yeah.
I have written that it is the Dravidian invasion of the Aryan land which has happened because many of these Dravidian politicians have virtually taken over. Our Annans have taken over the land of G's. Our 2G was possible. TR Balus and Marans and all these Kanimodis and are all there. Jayalalitha's party was hardly there for a few months in between 1998 and 99. But right from 1989,
correct.
since that VP Singh was there until 2014 when Modi came to power. But for the period of Narasimha Raw's 4 or 5 years, it is only this Dravidian party, DMK, which was invading the north and making the pile and so it is more of a Dravidian invasion that I have been talking about. It is an inversion actually of the other. And I'm not at all, let alone a proponent. I'm on the contrary, and I have used the word Aryan more as a metaphor and not as a because it is used by
with that clarification out. Let's come back to why you think a national party is necessary. What has gone wrong with Tamil Nadu? Because see, the way 1 minute, I'll finish this. The general perception about Tamil Nadu, it's an advanced state. It's on all indices, it's doing very well. Right, I think it's among the 5th biggest GDP economies. Your education, health, all indices are they're all population. Good. So what is it then? Control. What is it then? Population control. Every index you see, it's doing well. It's actually a progressive state in that sense, right? But what is it that you've been saying is regressive and it needs addressing, and that is why a national party needs to come into Tamil Nadu? What was that? Clarify that. With that, we will end today.
Yeah. See, the regressive thing about is, I can put it in one word, the Dravidian dominance of Tamil Nadu politics. It's not about the people.
Right.
See, but to their credit, we must say that they have succeeded in, misleading the people and to that,
they have 70 years
to blame the national parties. Yeah. I blame the national parties because Congress completely, abdicated and abandoned TN in 1971. Indira Gandhi wanted to stay in power. She was defeated by the DMK in 1967. But immediately in 1969, she took the help of DMK MPs. And in 1971, you won't believe, she gave away all the seats in assembly to the DMK. The Congress did not contest one seat in 1971.
Correct.
That is a complete abdication and abandonment of Tamil Nadu. That was the final. But even then, the TN people did not abandon the Congress. They were for Indira Gandhi. Every central elections, the people used to vote differently. They would have mostly MGR for Tamil Nadu, occasionally Karunanidhi. And then in Lok Sabha, when it came, even in 1980, they voted for Indira Gandhi. 84, they voted for Rajiv Gandhi. And when Rajiv Gandhi lost very badly all over India in 1989, he came down from 405 to 195. In Tamil Nadu, the Congress swept the polls. So people were there for the Congress. But it is to the lasting discredit or for the Congress that they just frittered away and opted to become pillion.
Just threw Tamil Nadu away,
opted to become pillion first for the ADMK and then continuously for the DMK.
Right.
In fact, they pulled down the United Front government on the pretext that the Congress Jain Commission report, and then they have come back once again with the Congress has got no scruples and no credibility in my mind. Right. So I don't reckon that as a national party at all. So the burden of my articles is that BJP is the national party, just as the white man claimed that it is the white man's burden to civilize this country. I never liked that phrase, but I have used the anecdote to say that it is the BJP's burden now, because this state, you have a party which is ideologically the antithesis of everything that the BJP represents. And secondly, the thing is, this is the most pious state in India. On that count, I can tell you. So many temples. A state which reverses temples. How is an atheistic party able to continuously win elections in a Jayalalitha? Jayalalitha, I don't consider MGR, Jayalalitha, and I don't consider even ADMK as a Dravidian party in a strict sense. So when I talk of the Dravidian party, I mostly refer to the DMK. And even till a few months back, they were talking about Sanatan Dharma and all that.
Eradication.
So that is what it is. So the Dravidian party represent all that is there. And there was a big space for a Hindu party, Hindu nationalist party in Tamil Nadu. right from the 1940s to till now, even till now, I would say. Only now the BJP is
Right.
talking of contesting alone. Not even in 2021, which was just 3 years back. That is my angst, not my
True.
anger. You put the word right yesterday. It is angst. Tamil சொன்னோம்னா
Correct.
ஆதங்கம். That is the word they use in Tamil. ஆதங்கம். That is the word they use.
You
put it
you
in
have to
colloquial
repeat that,
Tamil.
Jawahar.
So that is the angst. That,
Can you say that
people-
again? I think it didn't come through clearly. Say that again. What did you just say?
The Tamil right translation or my mental is Adangam. It is called Adangam.
Right. Yeah.
To put it in colloquial Tamil, Kadupun சொல்வாங்க. Kadupu is what word. It is a combination of disappointment, anger. There is so that is a lot of pent up frustration,
Right.
fatigue, and fury with the people, and it has
Okay.
always been there. But the
Right.
people did not have any choice at
Right.
the electoral level,
Right.
So that is why the state has always and ADMK is a personality based party. So nothing Dravidian about ADM. We will
Yes,
come to that
true.
later when we talk about
Yeah, we'll come to
jayalalitha.
that.
But the idea of secession and separatism is entrenched in the minds of the DMK politicians. So they will invoke it whenever
Right.
it is convenient to them. So the people have come around.
Right.
People have come around a lot. They have seen through the shenanigans of all these parties, but they don't have an alternative.
Right.
Now. What do? They are ready
Right.
with the vote.
Hmm.
Most of the people. I don't know
Correct.
the real quantum of votes, but they are ready with their vote, ready to seek an alternative.
True.
But who is there?
True.
Where is the ballot? Where is the opposite ballot? It is empty. So hope something happens.
Right. So now we have crossed the 30-minute mark already. So I think that's good enough for a day. Tomorrow, since the BJP coming in late, of course, has to do something with its own birth. It became a party only in 1980, right? 1980, 1982.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, right. So it came into being only in the 1980s. And then
earlier it was Hindu Mahasabha, Jan Sangh, these parties were there.
Correct. Yeah, correct. And then it was busy making its inroads into North India, where it was a more a natural party to grow, right? Then now it is the time that it's looking here. So something has taken a second national party nearly 40 years. If you even look at it from BJP's birth to now, it has taken 40 years to think of entering and just about making some efforts to come into Tamil Nadu. So there is something called this. There is a very, very hard stone wall. Tamil Nadu has been a huge hard stone wall for national parties. How did this wall solidify? What happened? What was its beginnings? Why did it become so solid that today we think that no, the Dravidian wall will never break, right? So we will, and for that, I think we'll have to go back to Periyar and what is it? What are the seeds of the Dravidianism that was sown in, right? And how that has kind of carried forward so long, right? So tomorrow we'll meet again for an edition on Periyar. All right.
Yeah, I'm happy that the BJP has made some baby steps in the form of Modi's visits. So it's not a question of breaching the wall, but even if they make some dent, I would be the happiest person as a nationalist point of view. It is not any party affiliation or anything, but it's about the frustration that we have been facing. We need some relief.
On that note, a slight clarification on the name of the show. The Cracks in the Dravidian Wall is not to say that it is cracking, but it is to say that there is a challenge for the first time to this wall, right? It could be cracks, it could be crevices, it could just be scratches, or it could be without any scratch at the end of it, right? So that, of course, only June 4th will tell us, right? Okay, so we meet again tomorrow, Jawahar. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Rao. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Thanks, everybody. Meet us tomorrow around the same time. Thank you.